This is the Program 60 Resources webinar. We are pleased to have all of our representatives here today. And this is to give you, as a Program 60 participant, the opportunity to know what types of resources are out there for you, especially as you navigate Ohio State campus online and in person. So this is just a couple of purpose points. I kind of already did a high-level overview, but this kind of gives you a little bit more understanding in regards to when to reach out to specific departments, as well as types of things that are out there for you as a participant. Obviously, as you know, university is large and there's lots of different things going on. So this kind of gives you a kind of overview in regards to what you have access today. So we have a variety of different panelists here today. This is the order that we have presenting. Like I said, we are going to go through these. I'll be kind of the moderator for this. Each of our panelists will be sharing some high-level overview as well as helpful tips and tricks and contacts, so that way you can kind of navigate the resources they have and be able to better effectively utilize it as you pursue your higher education journey through Program 60 at The Ohio State University. So without further hesitation, we'll go ahead and get started with all of our panelists. So first up on the docket is Stephanie Found. She's with the University Libraries. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And we welcome Stephanie to the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Let me share my screen with you all. One moment, please. All right, so hopefully you all can see my screen. So thank you for joining us today. I work in the University Libraries, and I'm going to share with you what we do and how we can help. So university libraries are a great place to start for finding a variety of resources. You can search for and access many resources by going to our website. So that's library.osu.edu. And as a Program 60 participant, you will need to be on campus to access some of the subscription content that we have, such as our databases. But also as a Program 60 student, you can check out Ohio State materials, as well as borrow items via our partnership with OhioLink. So there's over 100 member institutions in OhioLink. These are colleges and universities across Ohio. So if you don't find what you need in our collection or through OhioLink, you can also reach out to the local public libraries, such as Columbus Metropolitan Library, to find what you need. So to find out more about borrowing books and other library materials, you can visit the Borrowing FAQ page on our website. And if you aren't sure where to start, the library website is always a good place to go. And everything I'm featuring today and many more of our services are linked from there. So we also offer personalized help and guidance. This is known as our Ask Us service. So this is where you can get library help and the answer to just about any question from our specially trained student staff. We at the library love answering your questions. So please ask if you are wondering about something, about how to access something or find something. We are physically centrally located on the first floor of Thompson Library, but can also be reached via a live chat service through our website, via phone, or via email. In addition to our Ask Us service, we also have research guides. So if you are studying a particular topic, you might be able to find a research guide in that discipline on our website. These are a great place to go if you're looking for special resources for a certain topic, and they are maintained by our subject librarians who have special expertise in those certain disciplines and subject matter. We also have lots of spaces to work and study on campus. We have several libraries across campus. You can book study rooms. There's also libraries across all sections of campus, depending on where you are, if you're visiting in person. But they all do have different hours, so it is important to check the locations and hours page of our website before visiting. One of the really cool things that are often in our library locations are our special collections and our exhibits and special events. So some of our special collections include the Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum, We also have the Byrd Polar and Climate Research Center, the Theater Research Institute, and our Rare Books and Manuscripts Library. So some of our current exhibits include Deathless Fragments, which is currently in Thompson Library's gallery, and it'll be there most of the summer, I believe. And this is from the Ohio State University's Rare Books and Manuscripts Library, which is home to Ohio's largest collection of manuscript pages, which is more than 530 unique Western European manuscripts produced between the years 1000 and 1500. And you can also check out other upcoming events from our website. So that's library.osu.edu. And I also have a link here on the bottom of the slide to a page specifically for Program 60 participants. So that's go.osu.edu/lib60. And a couple other notes about accessing your library account. To access library resources as a Program 60 participant, you must visit the Thompson Library. That is the main library that is on the oval, and present your last name .number and a Buck ID or other photo ID each term you're enrolled to reactivate your library account. So just a quick note about that if you wanted to use library resources. And then once you've activated or reactivated your account, when you want to check your account to see which items you've checked out or when items are due, you just go to the library website, sign in where it says Ohio State students, staff, and faculty, put in that last name .number and your password. And a quick note, it is important to include that at osu.edu on the end. Otherwise, you may get an error message when you're logging in. And again, there is that special link there, go.osu.edu/lib60, which has more details of the services that I've highlighted today. So my presentation here is short and sweet. So thank you. And please let me know if you have questions or how I can help. I'm going to be leaving a little bit early today. So if you have questions at the end, I do encourage you to reach out to me directly at founds.8@osu.edu. I'll put that in the chat, or I'm sure Lauren will be able to pass along questions that you may have as well. So I wish you the best during your time with Program 60. Thank you.
Stephanie, thank you so much for doing a high-level overview of the library. There wasn't any specific questions, but I did want to point out, so Program 60 participants, they don't have an at osu.edu, it's buckeyeemail.edu. Is that okay to type in as your username, or does it have to be at osu.edu?
That should be fine. I know a lot of the undergraduates at Ohio State also have a Buckeye mail, so that should work as well.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. We do appreciate you joining us today. I didn't see any questions in chat in regards to the libraries, but I'm sure if there is any, I'll be sending at the end of this webinar a list of contacts. So anyone that is joining the webinar today can reach out with further questions. So thank you. All right. Up next is Sean with Buck ID Services.
Good morning, everyone. Let me get my screen shared here. Maybe. All right. My name is Sean Stewart. I am the Assistant Director of Buck ID, and my presentation will be even shorter than the previous one. You're gonna want to have a Buck ID when you come to campus to take the books out of the library. Also have access to buildings if you take classes with labs. Sometimes you need to have access. Access is provided on your Buck ID. Our office is located in the Ohio Union on the 3rd floor, Suite 3040. We are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And when you come, all you'll need to be enrolled in a class to get the Buck ID, and you'll just need to bring identification, either a driver's license a state-issued photo ID or a passport, and we'll take your picture, we'll print your ID, all in under about 5 minutes. And that is about all I have. Very easy, but if you have any questions for me, I'll stay on.
So, Sean, there appears to be a question. So this says, I'm a retired OSU staffer. Can I use my staff Buck ID, or do I need to get a new one as a retiree? So assuming from Program 60.
No, essentially, your relationship with the university starts from that first ID. So that ID will be fine. That ID will work. If any access is assigned to you during your time here as a Program 60 participant, it would go to that ID. So they would not need to get a new one.
Awesome. And I believe right now that's the only other question that I see. But obviously, if anyone has questions throughout it, feel free to type in the chat. But Sean, thank you for sharing a little bit about Buck ID services. I know last time we hosted this, you had a good amount of people come to you. So hopefully
we did, yeah.
People, utilize this great thing to be able to use on campus. So
appreciate it. Thanks, Lauren.
Of course. All right. Up next, we have Susan with Transportation and Traffic Management.
Hello, let me bring up my screen here. So I'm Susan Boyarsky-Markle from Transportation and Traffic Management. Our department manages the different transportation options here on campus. The main one is the campus area bus service, or CABS for short. So those are the large buses that travel just around the campus area. We also offer paratransit service, CABS on demand, shared mobility device program, and those are the scooters that you can see around campus here. And there's also a few electric bikes and biking on campus. But we're mainly going to focus on 3 of our services, which is the campus area bus service, the paratransit service, and CABS on demand. Everything that I go over here today is on our website, which I put up in the right-hand corner there. It's ttm.osu.edu. So you can find this information, our contact information. So I encourage you to reach out with any questions that you have at any time. And our maps all are found on our website. So for our campus area bus service, this bus service travels all around the campus area. So it can get you from West Campus to main campus, anywhere you need to go. It's free to ride, and you don't need to show your Buck ID when you ride the campus area bus service. So you just hop on and hop off at any bus stop. If you have the OSU mobile app, which is great for all things Ohio State, the buses are on there as well. So what you can do is bring up the buses on the OSU mobile app and actually track them around campus. So if you know you're going to be riding one of our routes, you can select that route, actually watch those buses go around the campus area and find out when it's going to be at your stop. If you have any questions about what routes to ride, please just contact us. We're happy to talk to you on the phone, do emails with you, or ask a bus driver. So if you're out on campus and you're like, I'm not sure if this is the route that I need to ride, just ask a bus driver. They'll be happy to help you. Few rider tips when you're going to ride. We always have a lot of people getting on and off at all times. So when you get ready to get on a bus, if you just pause a moment, let everybody exit the bus, and then go ahead and get on, it allows for quicker loading and unloading of the buses. You don't need to pull a stop cord or press a button to let the driver know you need to exit off the next stop. All of our buses stop at all the buses stops on the route. So they're going to go ahead and stop. You don't need to indicate that. For safety reasons, we only load and unload at bus stops. Occasionally, you'll see people trying to flag us down mid-ride. For safety reasons, we can't stop. So please access the buses via bus stops. And then all of our buses have wheelchair lifts. We do have other transportation options for those with limited mobility, and that will get us right into our paratransit service. So that is our door-to-door service for those with permanent or temporary disabilities. For example, sometimes people need to be on crutches temporarily and they need assistance getting around campus. This service would be able to assist you to get to those different classes to the day. Most of the time, the rides are scheduled in advance, but we do accept on-demand rides as our schedules permit by just giving our office a call. If this service can assist you, just contact our paratransit office either via email or phone. That information is there on the screen for you. They can assist you with any of your eligibility questions and how to register for that service. And that information is also on our website. Similar to the campus area bus service, our paratransit service hours depend on semester. So I went ahead and put our hours up for spring semester and then the summer and break hours, just so you're aware of the availability of this service. Finally, I will also want to hit on our Cabs on-demand service. This is a newer service. It's kind of like scheduling a ride. We have a daytime and an evening overnight service. So depending on what time you're here on campus, this service could get you around. During the daytime from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., we provide transportation between areas of West Campus, west of Olentangy River Road, and then 3 central campus locations. So you can actually schedule a ride on what's called the Trip Shot Ride app, which you can download on your phone, and say that you want picked up at either RPAC Stillman Hall or Mid Towers lot, and then taken to a specific stop west of Olentangy River Road, or you can go between stops west of Olentangy River Road. So this is a smaller vehicle. It picks you up and takes you point to point. In the evening, an additional amount of stops actually open up, and you can go from any point of our stops. So a whole bunch of additional stops are available. Those stops are all on our website, so you can pull them down and say, I'm going to be at the library, for example, and I need to get back to West Campus. Those options are available to you. You can find out where the pickup and drop-off points are. More information about this service, again, is on our website, but I encourage you, any question, please reach out to us. Again, our website's up there, ttm.osu.edu. Our general email account I have listed as ttminfo@osu.edu. And I will also put my name and information on the chat, so I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions.
Awesome. Susan, thank you so much for going more in detail. I know that's something that a lot of us, in Program 60 may have concerns with in regards to just parking, transportation, things like that. So this is a really great way to understand what types of things are available to all of us that are participating in classes on campus, especially. So thank you for joining us this morning. I don't see any questions in the chat about what you shared, but if there's any questions, feel free to keep an eye on the chat, and we'll obviously forward any questions we may have, and we encourage you to reach out to Susan with any other questions. So
thank you.
Of course. Up next, we have Victoria with Tech Tutoring.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Zupovich. I am on the digital learning team in the Office of Academic Affairs, but they're changing their name, originally the Office of Technology and Digital Innovation. I am currently leading the Tech Tutoring program, and we have kind of a partnership between Program 60 and Tech Tutoring. Tech Tutoring, in a gist, is tutoring with your technology. It's a service to help all learners at Ohio State be successful and best utilize the tech tools available to them at Ohio State. So Tech Tutoring currently offers all of these services here. We have found that mostly Program 60 students utilize getting started with technology, kind of file management, how to store their files properly on their computer, on their device, move files around into a file service that we have called OneDrive, and then using Carmen Canvas. We will pretty much talk to you about anything that is an Ohio State supported tool. We really can't talk about stuff that is outside of our wheelhouse. We just want to do what best we can support you with the Ohio State resources. So how you connect with us, we offer 2 modalities to meet with us. We offer in-person appointments in Mount Hall, which is on West Campus. We have parking allocated for Program 60 students to park right outside of our building, and then you'd be escorted up onto our 2nd floor in a private room with one of our tech tutors. We offer 1-hour appointments, but that is also extremely flexible if you need to meet with us for like 30 minutes, or we can also do longer appointments, about like 1.5 to 2 hours long, depending on your need. How you would meet with us is you would call our front desk, and the number is right here, but I'll just say it out loud, 614-292-8860, and indicate to the front desk that you are wanting to schedule a tech tutoring appointment. We also offer virtual appointments. Now, I do want to note, I personally think that it is a way better experience when you can sit down with one of our tech tutors and have hands-on experience and hands-on learning. But we do and will gladly accommodate you with virtual appointments. You would do the same thing. You would call our front desk, but just indicate that you're wanting to schedule a virtual tech tutoring appointment. So we are currently offering spring 23 appointments till April 24th. And we may be offering stuff in the summer. That availability is coming soon. We will know, and I will let Lauren know, and we'll communicate out our availability in the summer. But yeah, it's a really great opportunity for Program 60 students to learn all about the technology that's available to them at Ohio State and really kind of jumpstart their college career in the world of technology. And please feel free to reach out to me. I will put my email in the chat, or you can reach out to Lauren if you want to further communicate about our service. And that is all I had. Is there any questions?
So I don't see any in the chat. However, I did want to make a comment that I communicate via email once availability opens for you to prompt to call that front desk number. So that will require you to, which in our orientation that we have next week, we go over how to access your Buckeye email. So that's important to be able to log into that and keep an eye out for emails from me with updates. Tech tutoring also can help you learn how to utilize that, as it's a Ohio State platform that they help you engage in. So it's a really great way to feel more confident, especially if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, because we all know university has a lot of resources and things to navigate. And as we continue to move into more technology usage, it's important to really kind of take it by the reins and really focus on those skills. So Victoria, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yep, thank you.
All right. So next we have up on the plate is Pat with IT Service Desk.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Pat. I'll go ahead and get my screen shared here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the IT Service Desk and what the IT Service Desk is, how to reach us, and a couple of things like that. Is everyone able to see my screen? Excellent. So the IT Service Desk, we are a part of OTDI, or the Office of Technology and Digital Innovation. And the IT Service Desk is really sort of the front door into anything IT related that you may be having any sort of technical difficulties with, systems not working correctly, getting things set up for the first time. Oftentimes, we are a good contact point for you. So let me move ahead here. The IT Service Desk, we are open 24/7, including holidays, including football days, and we're always open. You can reach us at that phone number listed there, 614-688-4357 or 688-HELP. You might see that reference out there, 688-HELP. We also have our website, go.osu.edu/IT. That will get you to a lot of our self-service systems. You can create a ticket with us, get some information directly from that site. And then, of course, we also have an email, servicedesk@osu.edu. While we are primarily a phone and email sort of response center, we are staffed by both staff, full-time staff, and student employees at those various contact points. We also do have a walk-in location at a variety, all of our regional campuses as well, but our primary one on the Columbus campus is called the Buckeye Bar, and it is located on the first floor of the Thompson Library on the west side. If you walk in through the west doors, you'll see us right to your left. We have a walk-in location that's open from 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, on any day that the library is open. So university holidays, or if the library shuts down early, we are asked to leave ourselves. So as long as the library is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, we're also there. And we offer the same services at that walk-in location that we would offer over the phone or email support. The IT service desk, like I said, we are the sort of front door to a lot of IT related systems. We can assist with, maybe getting your account activated if you haven't done so already. The last name number that you can activate and then change the password at the website my.osu.edu. We're definitely able to help out with that. That password that you set up there does expire every 6 months, or if there's ever any issues with it, you can, of course, give us a call and we can assist with getting you back into your account. We also provide support for the Buckeye Pass system, which is a two-factor authentication system. And the goal there really is to help protect your account even more than just your username and password can. It's going to utilize a personal cell phone of yours or some other device that can act as a second form of identification when accessing online resources. Buckeye Pass is pretty much in front of everything now that you're going to be accessing. So it's definitely something we want to make sure everyone's able to utilize successfully. We also provide support for the email system. For students, that is going to be your name.number at buckeyemail.osu.edu. It uses the same password that you set up at my.osu.edu, but it will get you into your student email. That's where you're going to get communications about your courses or those updates from Lauren that Lauren was mentioning. So if you're ever having difficulty getting in there, we could definitely assist with getting you that access. Also, the wireless network on campus. We have a wireless network that you can connect your personal cell phones if you have a smartphone, like iPhone or something like that, as well as laptops, tablets, iPads, whatever the case may be. We can get you connected to our Edge or Roam network and make sure you have access to the internet wherever you go on campus. I wanted to just really briefly talk a little bit more in depth about the Buckeye Pass system. I guess before I move on from this, this is an example, a sampling of the things that we support. We have access to support a lot of different systems. So generally speaking, if you have questions about anything IT related or technology related, there's a chance that we're at a good place to start. Even if we can't get you the answer, we can help point you in the right direction. So please do feel free to reach out to us. So yeah, I did want to talk a little bit more about the Buckeye Pass system. If you haven't set Buckeye Pass up yet, you'd want to visit the website buckeyepass.osu.edu. This will take you to this page where it's going to give you some more in-depth information about what the system is and why we utilize it. You might also hear us refer to this as Duo. Duo is the system that we use. Buckeye Pass is kind of our OSU branding we put on top of it, but you might hear those used interchangeably. When you get to this page to register a device, and this is going to be your cell phone or your tablet, you have this option here to register and manage devices. As you start to get logged in here, it's going to ask you to sign in. I'm going to sign in with my own information. And it may ask me for my Buckeye Pass. It won't ask you if you've never set this up before. It won't ask you to register or to authenticate because you don't have a Buckeye Pass system to authenticate with yet. But that's kind of the interaction, actually, where it asks you to authenticate with your device. And what I did there is I received a push notification on my own personal cell phone. And I just said, yep, that's me. I'm the person trying to sign in. Please let me through. And it will proceed that way. So if you never have logged in here before, you will get to this add device option. And I want to talk a little bit about our three options here. Two are primarily used and one's kind of an extra one. But the one that we recommend using is called the Duo mobile app. If you have a smartphone or a tablet, like if you have your iPhone or an iPad or even an Android phone, whatever the case may be, you can download the Duo mobile app on that device. And once you register that device, it will just send a notification to your phone when you're trying to sign in. And you could just have to approve or decline that login attempt. And it will, if you accept it, it will allow you through. I find that one to be much quicker and easier than the other options, just because of the frequency that you're going to be using the Buckeye Pass system to access your OSU resources. We do recommend using that one because it's just a little bit quicker for you. As you go through this Duo mobile option, it's going to ask you for a phone number if you're on a phone. If you're using an iPad or some other tablet device, you can use the I Have a Tablet, and it will give you some instructions there on how to get that activated. And once you get signed in, it typically is good to go until you replace that device. If you get a new phone every couple of years, at that point, you'd have to re-register. But once you register it once, it's pretty much good to go. The other common option that we use is to use just a phone number. If you don't want to install the Duo mobile app, you can install a phone, or you could just register your phone number. And what it will do is send you a text message every time you're using the Buckeye Pass system. It will send you like a 6-digit code that you'll need to type in and enter into the website in order to proceed. This is similar to, I know I get this all the time when I'm logging into my bank, where my bank will send me a text message and I have to put in the code. It's the same sort of system. It's just, there's a little bit of delay depending on how quickly it sends you the text message. And you can just enter your phone number here. You can just add phone number. Say, yes, that's correct. And it says successfully added text message. You can see I now have my new phone number here that I just registered. So it's a pretty quick process to get activated. Again, we could definitely assist with that over the phone or in person if you have any questions. But it's definitely a system you're going to be using. So please do let us know if we could assist you. And that's all I have, unless there are any questions.
I don't see any questions in the chat, but I appreciate you doing a high-level overview as well as going into Duo Mobile, just because I know that is a common question we do come across. So my friends that are on this call, feel free to reach out to them with any questions if you're having issues with setting up Duo Pass. We also go over this during our Program 60 orientation, which we have next week too as well. So it's really great to have you here today. So we appreciate you, Pat.
Yeah, please do reach out. Thank you.
All right. So up next, we have Kim Hopkins with Carmen eLearning Support, an online learning tool set.
Hi. So once again, everybody's got to find their screen to share. Okay. I'm Kim Hopkins. I'm on the eLearning Carmen Canvas support team. And basically, Carmen Canvas is our online course system. So if you have any online course components, they're very likely to be in Carmen Canvas. And while, like Pat said, the IT service desk does the vast majority of tech stuff, if you end up having a tech question, then that is when you would contact us. So if you're in your course site, there's a couple different ways to get help. If it looks like there's a bug or something's not working the right way, or even if you have like a quick, how do I do this one thing I'm trying to do right now question, you can call into the IT service desk number. Oh, sorry. And 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, choose the eLearning Carmen Canvas option to get through to my team, or you can email us at carmen@osu.edu. Basically anytime, and we are in 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. If your question is about not being able to locate something in your course site or what you're expected to do in the course, you should get in contact with your instructor. And if you would like more of a general how to use Carmen Canvas or one of the other tools in your online course, then reaching out to Victoria's team for the tech tutor support is an excellent choice. We do have some websites to go through. The Teaching and Learning Resource Center has a bunch of guides for all of the services my team supports, and a couple of other ones as well. It's sort of a general Teaching and Learning Resource Center. And then we have getting started guides for Carmen Canvas and Carmen Zoom. So that would be, I've made some short links here, go.osu/Carmen Canvas start and go.osu Carmen Zoom start. And so that's basically places you would go to check, how do I do what I want to do, or to talk to somebody to get help with what you want to do. And then you will use Carmen Canvas probably a lot if you have any online courses. So here's a quick overview of the most common things. To navigate your course site, once you're inside of your course site, you will see down the left-hand side of the screen a list of links, and that's called the course navigation. The most common place to find your course content is under this modules link. So you will look for that, but there's other useful links there. If assignments, quizzes, announcements are turned on, then look for content under those. There's sometimes a syllabus posted that way. Every instructor can organize their course in their own way. So even if it's in one place in one course, next semester, you might have to go someplace else to find it. And push comes to shove, you need to message your instructor. There's an inbox icon on the side. You'll get there. There'll be a little compose icon at the top of that. And you can choose which course instructor to email from there. Or you can check for your instructor's email to use your preferred email tool rather than sending a message through Carmen Canvas. And then there will be submissions, perhaps, in your course if you are participating that way. The most common ones are file submissions, which will look kind of like this. You'll choose to upload a file from your computer or device. It will populate after you've chosen it, and then you'll need to agree here and click Submit Assignment to complete that assignment. There's also discussions, which will look sort of like this, probably a little longer than my test discussion here, but you'll have a reply button either under the discussion topic itself or under your classmates' posts so you can reply directly to them. Everybody can see the posts that you put, but it'll just sort of nest them if you reply under somebody else's. And then quizzes are a big one too. This is the basic interface for a question. You will see like some question text and then options for how to answer. This is a multiple choice question, which is the most common one. You'll just click what you want to choose. And then when you are done, you'll need to click the Submit Quiz button. Even though it saves as you go, you do need to manually submit at some point. And I don't have a screenshot for it here, but on that course navigation, the grades link will probably be published. And that's a good place, even if you are not being assessed the same way as other students, it's a good place to go to sort of track your progress in the course because you can see everything that is graded. You can see what's maybe coming up later and sort of just keep track of things that way. Yeah, I think I probably went a little too fast, but those getting started guides, I'll go back, will really, this getting started guide for Carmen Canvas is probably your number one resource for getting used to how to navigate that system. And again, you can call us 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. I think we're option 5, but sometimes the options change when you call into the help desk. So check for that and email us, carmen@osu.edu. We're happy to answer anything from, this isn't working questions to I'm having trouble figuring out how to use this kind of questions, although some of that also Victoria's team will be able to help with very well. Well, I think that's about it.
Awesome. Kim, have a quick question. So this is a common question that comes across my desk is when do you have access to Carmen Canvas?
So
Like
You
from
should-
from time of enrollment.
So that's it's a good one. We should add it to our slide. After you officially register for the course, you should see it on your schedule, and then the registrar system and Carmen Canvas sort of sync up overnight. So any changes to your schedule or when you're finally registered will show up on Carmen Canvas the day after. If it's ever been more than 2 days, that is a great time to reach out to us to see what's going on. Because every once in a while, it does take 2 days for that sync to finally get through. It's pretty rare, but we do like to give it the 2 days just in case it's one of those rare times. But if it's been 2 days or if it's time sensitive, like class started yesterday and you're just wanting to get registered now, please reach out to us. Yeah, we can help with that for sure.
So, yeah, Kim, I don't see any other questions in the chat, but feel free at the end of this, we'll send the contact information for Carmen support, and any questions can be directed that way. So thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right. Up next, we have Michael Shiflett with Carmen Books team.
Hello, everybody. Going to do the same fun share thing as everyone else. And I don't have a slideshow, but I have a couple web pages that are worth walking through as we describe Carmen Books. So Carmen Books is a cost savings program here at the university that saves students up to 80% on their course materials, which can be textbooks or online homework platforms. And that's expanding even more as there are more and more online digital tools. We're getting the ability to provide discounted access to some of those as well. We started in 2017 and have collectively saved students $22.8 million to date. So it's had a pretty big impact here. And the way it works, as described in this graphic, is that instructors choose whether or not their course wants to participate in the program, and then a course fee is applied that all students would pay. This is called inclusive access, and it's a fairly becoming more common model for providing materials in higher education. And we work with quite a few partners across the university to make this happen, several of whom have presented here today. I work with Kim a lot. The materials are delivered through Carmen Canvas. And then we are partnering with the libraries to ensure that faculty aren't ordering materials that should otherwise be made available through libraries for free. So we aren't overcharging where we shouldn't be. And disability services as well to make sure these materials are as accessible as possible. So the relevance to Program 60 is that, as mentioned, these are paid for by a course fee. And we know you aren't paying tuition as a Program 60 student, and you probably don't want to pay a course fee either. But participation in some courses might not be possible without doing so, because some courses rely so heavily on these online learning tools and online homework systems that participation is literally impossible without them. And an example of that is kind of popular with Program 60 students is Italian language program. It just relies so heavily on the McGraw-Hill Connect homework platform that you can't even take a lesson in the class without having access to that McGraw-Hill Connect. So if course materials are just a textbook, we have the ability to opt out, and so you won't have to pay a fee. If it's just a book that you don't necessarily need to read for your course, you can opt out of this fee and you won't be charged. And skip ahead a little bit, but here's the opt-out form. I'll include this link in the chat when I'm done presenting. But you have until the second week of classes to opt out of any Carmen Books fee. But what I would say is talk to your instructor before you make that decision, just to see how badly you do need the material. If it is just a digital book, you probably don't. But if it is one of these online tools, it may be really required to even do the bare minimum participation in a course. So I'm going to click over to this other tab about how do you know if you have a Carmen Books fee on your course? They are all listed on the schedule. I should have included an example of that, but every class that participates on the schedule has a line item under its class attributes that will say digital textbook fee of $35, $50, something along those lines. But we have a site where you can search as well. So I mentioned Italian already, so we'll just go ahead and check that. Of course, there's nothing in the summer. Why would there be? So here we go. The online homework systems are a little pricier, so that's why the fee for that one is pretty expensive. But you can search any course on your schedule. If you somehow see a fee but don't know what class it's for, you can also search by fee amount. So we try to get these out, make it as public as possible, raise awareness. Your instructors should have syllabus statements as well. So we try to make this as visible to students as possible, make sure they are aware of their options before that opt-out deadline. And I think that is all I have to say. I'm going to include links to all the sites I've shown here and one more, which has some student information that is essentially everything I've said in print form. So I'm going to drop all those in the chat right now. Oh, I will say that for contacting us, we have a tech support email that I will also be putting in the chat. So we use a ticketing system to offer support. So it's not my personal email, but I will be the one in all likelihood responding to you. But it's just carmenbooks@osu.edu. And that will be in the chat as well.
Awesome. Michael, thank you so much. It's definitely great to be able to know how to, opt out, but also understand the implications to, some of the courses that utilize that. So we appreciate you sharing that information today. And we'll go from there. But I don't see any questions in the chat, but we'll direct them your way if there's any.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome. All right. Up next is Allie. We're looking forward to having you share information about student life, recreation, sports.
All right, thank you. Can everyone see that okay? Okay. See if I can get it to play the way it should. I can find the mouse here. There we go. Is that working?
I don't see it pop up, but we still see the PowerPoint.
All right. Well, multiple monitors. I'm not sure why it's not cooperating. So we'll just stick with the PowerPoint here. Okay. So my name is Allie Talcott. I am the campus programs coordinator with the Office of Student Life Rec Sports Department. And we have options for Program 60 participants to join rec sports and take advantage of our facilities and programs. So memberships are available for purchase. They're $123 for the semester, and that's the same cost to all students. So our undergraduate, graduate students pay that fee through their student fees, but others that are designated as students have the opportunity to purchase at that same rate. We do have 6 indoor facilities and multiple outdoor facilities around campus that are available, and these are all included with the membership. Our main facility is the RPAC, and that includes the Aquatic Center, and it's on Central Campus. Has multiple gyms with the basketball courts, which can also have volleyball and badminton and pickleball set up. Lots of cardio equipment, weights. There are 6 pools in the Aquatic Center. There's the competition side that the athletic department swim team practices in. And then there's also the recreation side with multiple lap pools. There's even a pool that has an adjustable floor, so it can be made shallow or deeper, and a leisure pool that's utilized a lot during our family hours. There are 2 saunas and a hot tub as well that's down the aquatic center. In the RPAC, we have a walking track up on the 3rd level and full locker rooms with showers. So it's our main facility. It's going to have the most of our equipment and amenities there. The RPAC also houses our bike hub, which is a newer facility. And if you're an avid cyclist or you have a bike, you just need to get tuned up, need some parts or services, you can stop by the bike hub, and we have technicians there that can either perform services or they have parts available for purchase. Or if you need to do repairs on your own, there's some equipment there for that. And then we do have additional satellite facilities, Jesse Owens North and Jesse Owens South. And the North Rec Center are all situated in residential areas around campus, but they're available to anyone who has a membership. And those spaces have courts, cardio equipment, and weights. At Jesse Owens North, if anyone is a pickleball player or likes to play tennis, we have indoor courts now there. So indoor tennis, and I think there are 4 pickleball courts, all first come, first serve in that space. And then out on the West Campus area is the ARC, which is the Adventure Recreation Center, which also houses the Outdoor Adventure Center. And this is a facility that's popular for those that maybe aren't on main campus a lot. It's easier for parking and accessibility. It's located at Woody Hayes and Kenny, so it's a little bit easier to access by car. And there are basketball courts, cardio equipment, weights. There's indoor turf fields in there as well, so a wide variety of equipment. And then the Outdoor Adventure Center has a climbing wall, bouldering, slacklining, and a lot of different opportunities for that type of recreation there. And then one of our newest facilities is the esports arena, and that is located in Lincoln Tower. And that is our gaming arena. So there is a sport club that is for the team. There's an actual club team that goes and plays other locations. They go to tournaments, but that facility is open for rec sports members, and it has computer games, console games, and virtual reality games as well. So it's a new facility that has been here. It opened right before COVID hit, and we've have a new manager in there, so they've been really ramping up what they're doing in that space. As far as outdoor spaces, we have Fred Beekman Park, which is out at Lane and Kenny, and that has some baseball fields and some walking paths. There's the Coffee Road facility, and that has grass fields. And then Lincoln Tower Park is situated between Lincoln and Morrill Towers, the RPAC, and the stadium. And we have turf fields, grass fields, tennis courts, that are also, a few are aligned with pickleball lines as well. Sand volleyball is all available. So there's quite a few facilities, kind of many different ways to find a way to stay physically active. And then for our program side of things, we have group fitness classes, and those are all included in the membership. We have upward of 100 classes offered per week during the autumn and spring semesters, with a more limited schedule during the summer, but those are all included. And then we also have personal training, and there's a separate cost associated with that. And you can do one-on-one training, small groups, work with a trainer to get a plan that you work on your own. So there's a lot of options there. The Outdoor Recreation Center that I mentioned has an equipment rental program. So if you want to go camping or kayaking, but don't have all the equipment you need, for a small fee, you can rent equipment out from them. And then we also offer some lessons from children up through adults. And those are all in the recreation natatorium as well. So there's a lot of options, plenty more I can go into if you have specific questions. So on the last one, let's see. Here's my email. Our website has a ton of information as well. And then we do post a lot on social media if that's something you follow. We do a lot on Twitter and Instagram. So that's it for us.
Awesome. Allie, thank you so much for going into that. It's really great. That's all part of wellness. And I mean, that's part of the High State experience, so we do appreciate you taking us through that and giving us that information in regards to what's offered. So thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And there is a question in chat. This person says, is this information all on the website?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. All right. That, I believe, is the only question I have, but we'll forward any other questions your way as they come. So
thank you.
All right. So up next, we have Shivani with the Counseling and Consult Center.
Everyone, I'm Shivani Edwards with Counseling and Consultation Service. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to walk you through a few of our options that would be the most beneficial to you. Hopefully you can see my our website here. We have our some of our offerings have changed just a little bit as we're moving to the end of the semester, but it's usually pretty robust. So I wanted to give you some information about our on-demand services, and in particular, our drop-in workshops, which are really good options. Anytime during the academic year, we're starting to decrease our offerings as we end this semester. And then we'll go over a little bit of Silver Cloud, which is a potential option for students who want to go through a cognitive behavioral type of self-help module. But typically during the year, we are offering drop-in workshops. Some are in person, some are virtual. These happen to be a couple of our most popular. So Beating Anxiety tends to run most of the year, and it is typically via Zoom. During the fall semester, we do offer it in person as well. And so you can just click this button and you will get a Zoom link during the times that are listed. So right now we're offering it on Thursdays from 4 to 5. We do have an art space option. During the academic year, we've done a writing option for some students to who enjoy self-expression through writing. That could be journaling. If you just want to see if that could be something that could assist you with wellness or just something new to try, those are some things to think about. These are some of our other workshops that we typically would offer during the academic year. And so there's a 3-part workshop on relationships. Here's our description for Right Mind. We have one on improving motivation, attention, and focus. And then another really popular one is Building Mastery. And this is specific skills that you can learn on how to manage anxiety throughout the day and throughout your life. And then another popular one is our food and sleep strategies for mental health, which we offer a few times each semester. So those are some things to maybe take a look at. And we always ask students to kind of keep this page as a favorite on their favorite search engine, so they can kind of look and see what types of things we are offering. Something else that could be of interest for you, it takes a minute for this, is our community provider database. If you're interested in seeking mental health services, we started this back, I would say 6 or 7 years ago, adapted from Penn State, and we are collecting information of different therapists in the area who accept different types of insurances. Right now, we have 208 who are active on our database. You can look at different options here and search by different insurance options. I will say that we don't have Medicare necessarily listed, but Medicare does have its own availability, and some of these folks may be listed there as well. You can search by gender, ethnicity, orientation, theoretical approach of the therapists themselves. And if you have questions about different options, you can always give us a call as well, and we can talk about different providers who might be in the area who could be of assistance. Go ahead and stop share and see if there are any questions.
So, well, Shivana, we do appreciate you joining us this morning. It's definitely great to have that as a resource, especially for those that might want to explore different ways of wellness. So we do appreciate you jumping on. I don't see any questions in the chat, but again, we'll direct them your way if there's any questions following. So we do appreciate you joining.
Thank you.
Awesome. And then lastly, we are going to try again to have, just talk a little bit more about disability services. So I'll put the ball in your court.
Hi, thank you so much, Lauren, for the flexibility. And thank you all. I'm sharing my screen. Can you all see this? Perfect. All right. So we'll just go ahead and get started. So what is the Office of SODS, also known as Student Life and Disability Services? So we were created here on the campus of Ohio State in 1974, originally to support individuals with physical disabilities. But over the years, we've transitioned to support individuals with all varying disabilities. And so we're here to collaborate with university community to create accessible educational experiences for students with disabilities. And so what that looks like, it's a wide range of things. We offer student accommodations and services. So we work with students through whatever their disability is to kind of support them in figuring out what would work best for them. It's a collaborative conversation. It's a collaborative effort across the campus. So we work with all kind of campus partners from counseling and consultation. We've also worked with paratransit and others as well. We also offer faculty and staff consultations, and then we also offer campus education and outreach, such as doing presentations like these, along with other student organizations on campus. One of the things I really wanted to drive home here, sometimes when people think of the Office of Student Life and Disability Services, it's just visible disabilities. But as you can see just from some of the disabilities listed here, a lot of it is invisible disabilities. So that's supporting people with mental health conditions, learning, deaf and hard of hearing. Sometimes they may also be temporary injuries. We also support students with autism spectrum disorder. There's physical disabilities, and sometimes that could also be blind and low vision, just to give you a couple. Some of the most common accommodations that we do support students with are exam accommodations, meaning just having that extended time to be able to complete that exam that you have, and also in a distraction-reduced small testing space to kind of help with those environmental stimuli. Note-taking assistance varies depending on the student and what you're supported and what you're interested in. So that could be note-taking technology. It could also mean a volunteer note-taking, having a peer in the class with you that helps you with your notes for that class. Attendance and deadline modifications include ways to be supportive if you're experiencing a prolonged disability accommodation, where you can have extended deadlines and other grace around having different assignments being turned in. Those are things that you'll talk directly about with your professor, but again, we help advocate with you along for those services. And then priority scheduling is something that we offer our undergraduate students so that they can have a little bit more control over the time of their classes and the type of classes that they're interested in being a part of. Registering with our office is pretty simple. You'll go on our website, which is sods.osu.edu. You'll complete an online registration form along with uploading your documentation. All the information is available on our website, but it talks you through the type of documentation that we accept. After it's been reviewed, you'll receive a message that you're now welcome to schedule a welcome meeting. And in that welcome meeting, you'll meet with an access specialist such as myself, and we'll talk through what your current disabilities are, the accommodations that are appropriate for you, and then we'll talk about next steps on how we communicate those disabilities to your current professors and course load. Another really big piece that I really want to drive home here, confidentiality. We keep that inside of our office. We don't relay your diagnosis or any of the details with your diagnosis outside of this office. So when we're communicating your accommodations to your professors, we never communicate your actual diagnosis. It's only consisted of your accommodations. Last but not least, the best way to get in contact with us, I've listed their email, our phone, and then we also have drop-in supports Monday through Friday, 10 to 1 and 2 to 4 p.m. I know that was super quick and super fast, but I realize with the time being here, but if there's any questions, we're always here to support.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving us that, the level of information. It's great to have that access, especially if there's issues navigating campus or, any sort of disability that might come across. And I appreciate you joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lauren.
No problem. All right. And I recognize, there's some people that are jumping off. There is one more thing I'm going to be sharing, but I do want to take the time to recognize again all of our representatives that joined us this morning. We appreciate you taking time to talk to us about different supports and resources that are available to us as Program 60 participants. It helps us just know what's out there, as well as just enhances the overall experience through Program 60 at The Ohio State University. So thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. This is just some things that are available to you through Program 60. So I'll go ahead and share this. So you'll see over here, these are additional resources that are available to you. These are all included on the Program 60 website. Some of the resources that talked to us today, we have a section on the Program 60 website. It's the participant resources section. And that link will have different things that's also outlining different services and resources available at all the regional campuses. So that's a really great one. We go a little bit more in detail during the orientation. So that is scheduled for next Friday. So that is something, if you have not scheduled, feel free to sign up for that. There's also all these different supports here. One thing I did want to mention is this right here. I'm going to go ahead and share this. This right here is the IT for Students kind of database. And it's really nice because it kind of has all these tiles that outline specific things that you might engage with at the university. We go a little bit more in detail about this in the orientation, but this is just something, if you're curious about specific resources, things like that, you can actually click it and it'll direct you to the website of that resource. So it's a really nice way to kind of understand what's available to you from IT standpoint. Other than that, I know we went through a lot of information today. We do appreciate you jumping on this call, kind of understanding what's out there for you available, and hopefully this helps you be more successful in the program.